my name is Jeff Fix. I'm one of your Fairfield County Commissioners. I feel very fortunate to have this position of leadership at a time of unparalleled opportunity in our county. Today, I wanted to talk about one of those opportunities, the significant growth that is occurring and will be coming to our county. Now, there are some who'd say we don't need any more growth. We like Fairfield County the way it is, and we don't need to build any more houses or apartments or businesses or new jobs. We're good. Others would say that they welcome the growth because they see it as an opportunity to make our community better, a better place to live, to raise a family, to do business. I'm here to tell you that it really doesn't matter if you're pro-growth or anti-growth. Fairfield County is going to expand over the coming 10 to 20 years in significant numbers, and we're not able to stop it. The best thing we can do is to manage that growth, to steer it into areas that we think make the most sense, to plan for the infrastructure needed for it, and to set up financial platforms that allow the townships and villages to prosper financially as a result of it. Why do I say growth is inevitable? Pressure. Central Ohio has been on a steady growth curve, far outpacing the rest of our state and really the entire Midwest for quite some time. We've all seen over the past 30 years as Columbus has pushed out into Grove City and Hilliard, Dublin and Powell, Westerville, New Albany, Gahanna and Reynoldsburg, and even in Pickerington. Over the past 10 years, Central Ohio has added an average of 67 new residents every single day. Every day, 67 new people move into the area. So that pressure continues to push forward, and we're experiencing that in Fairfield County, and that pressure will only be ramped up as the Columbus area continues to thrive. And we all know that construction of the massive Intel project just up the road in Licking County is well underway, and that when that project is done, there'll be tens of thousands of new jobs on that site, and that suppliers for Intel are already looking for space along our northern border and along Route 33. Those jobs are coming right here, and even those jobs that will be based in Licking County, those people are going to be looking for homes within a 45-minute drive from that site. The 3 northern townships of our county are only 25 minutes away. Intel is going to bring growth to our county. There's really no way around it. That pressure is real and will only increase in time. We also know that Fairfield County is not kept up from a housing standpoint with the growth that we've already experienced. The Building Industry Association tells us that there are currently 2,000 fewer homes than are needed here in our county. We're already behind and the pressure is building. So growth is coming our way, and we as local elected officials have options as to how we want to approach it. We can do nothing, we can fight it, or we can embrace it. I'm here today advocating that we embrace it, we plan for it, and we, and more importantly, our constituents, benefit from it. Let's explore those options for a minute. Let's say there's a township that decides they're not going to do anything. If it comes, right? There are examples of what your community will look like if we take this approach. You'll have a mismatch of businesses, housing developments, apartments, curb cuts everywhere, traffic congestion. Your planning and zoning process will be overwhelmed. You'll have unhappy landowners who are interested in development and unhappy neighbors when an unplanned development pops up across the street. And in all likelihood, you'll get sued, and you'll lose. And you'll get stuck with a bunch of legal bills and whatever the developer decides to do. And worst of all, if you do nothing, is that your township or village, instead of seeing a positive financial impact, will instead have to add additional tax burdens to your existing residents to keep up with the needs of your growing community. A great example of this is Violet Township. I'm not disparaging anything that anyone in a leadership position there has done over the past 40 years. I know they're all doing what they thought was best for the township at the time they were doing it. But the reality is, there wasn't a plan for growth. Most of the time, there was also no financial agreement put in place that would allow the township to grow financially. Lawsuits, even up until 2022, were a regular occurrence. They never won. And if you drive up and down Route 256 or out Refugee Road, you'll see a challenging mix of neighborhoods, small businesses, apartments and condos, and a traffic disaster. These are the results of not having a plan and letting development happen to you instead of with you. The bottom line is this: if we do nothing, unplanned growth will make a mess of our community, and our constituents will pay for it both literally and figuratively. Another option is to actively fight against growth, to build a wall around our community and do everything we can to keep new development out. While this may be what some of your residents say they want, I'm willing to bet they won't like the results if we go down this road. And what will those results be? Well, first of all, if a developer can't get what he or she wants from you and the farmer that wants to sell his land can't do so, there's a decent chance they'll seek annexation with a nearby village or city, and you'll get stuck with the results, with no additional tax base at your disposal. And even if that doesn't happen, and you do build that wall around your community, development will be occurring in the townships and villages all around you. And many of those people will be using your roads to come and go, perhaps using your emergency services while in your township. Your constituents will have to continue to foot the bill for all of your infrastructure needs, while those passing through will add to the wear and tear. If you work diligently to keep development out and only allow the one home for every 2 acres as is currently zoned, quote unquote, you'll eventually get some of that development, and the cost of building and maintaining those roads and providing all the other services, well, let's just say the math doesn't turn out very well. At the end of the day, you can fight development and you may even be successful, but at what real cost and at what opportunity cost? And what does it look like if we plan for and embrace growth? That's really the question that so many of our township trustees and village councils are facing right now, and certainly will be in years to come. My informed opinion is that well-planned, well-managed growth that is done in partnership between local governmental entities, schools, landowners, and developers can provide a win for everyone and for the community at large. By creating a comprehensive land use plan and creating the appropriate zoning that coincides with that plan, local governments and their residents will be able to have a significant say as to what goes where. Is there an appropriate place in your township to build a light industrial complex, bringing jobs to the local economy? Possibly. Is there a part of your village that's most appropriate for retail and commercial development? I'd bet there is. Is there a spot for multifamily housing that makes sense in your community? Could be. Is there room for a single-family housing development? What about a mixed-use development with a combination of residential and commercial uses? I'm willing to bet that the answer to all those questions could be yes, if you wanted to find a way. And then, with that plan, you start to examine and create the financial tools, CEDAs, JEDs, community development authorities, etc. Then when a developer knocks on your door, you know where they need to go, the deal you need from them, and the positive financial impact that you can create for your community. The positive impact of residential growth begins with construction activity that will generate new revenue in your community. Studies show that for every 100 homes built, 102 local jobs are supported. Over time, the homeowners and apartment dwellers will not only add to the local economy, but they'll provide hundreds of thousands of dollars in annual tax revenue that, working together, townships and villages can share to improve the entire community. So yes, growth and development are coming our way. I believe that we should embrace it, plan for it, manage it, and benefit from it. And your county government is putting our money where its mouth is. We're investing significant time and financial resources to create a county-wide, comprehensive land use and economic development plan. Seeking input from all the townships and villages along the way, that those townships and villages will be able to use to create their own local plans, without going to the expense of hiring a consultant to do so. Our utilities team, Engineer Jeremiah Upp, regional planning, economic development, soil and water conservation, health department, the list goes on. All of us are putting forth similar efforts so as to prepare for the growth that we know is coming. I'll be talking about those efforts in more detail as I visit townships and villages in the coming months. And this summer, we look forward to having a follow-up to the housing symposium we conducted last summer, where we tie all of this together and get moving. Here's the way I see it. I lived through 20 years of crazy, poorly planned growth that included all kinds of fighting and gnashing of teeth in Pickerington. It all could have been done so much better had those elected leaders so many years ago had the foresight, the tools, and the willingness to work together for the greater good. As we look to the coming economic boom that is already starting to hit Fairfield County, I'll continue to do everything I can to help our townships and villages build their toolbox so that when opportunity comes to them, and it will, that they're really prepared to avoid the mistakes that others have made in the past and to build a great future for their community and for all of Fairfield County. I thank you for your time today, and as always, for the opportunity to serve.